Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I always forget. I can hear you, and I think I'm on.
Okay. All right, so we'll get going. As stated in the last meeting by the mayor, that we no longer have to pass a resolution to open the meeting. So I will now call this meeting to order. And we will move on into declaration of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof. I have a conflict of interest on number 7B. I've submitted my sheet to the township office prior to the meeting. Does anyone else have any other conflicts of interest tonight?
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Okay, with that, we will go to, there's no delegations tonight, so we'll go to number 4, discussions arising from the previous council minutes. Does anyone have anything to say about that?
Yes, on page 3 of the minutes, about the alert system that we were talking about the last meeting. I was talking to someone from Hyman, and they suggested that we should be trying to get grant money for a tower up there. It would help them, their cell phones, and it help the fire department. They have better reception. And I told them that I would bring this to your attention and see what we can do. And I think it's a good idea if we can get a tower up there and help them communication. And that's the main thing when there's emergency is communication. So we should be looking into something like that. Okay, that's it for me.
Thank you, Councillor. We'll definitely make sure your message is passed along to the office. Anything else from number 4? Anything else from last minutes?
Nope,
No,
not
I'm
for
good.
me.
Nope.
Okay, we'll now move on to passing the minutes from last meeting. So Councillor Gingras, can I get a first on that?
Yes.
And Councillor McDonald?
Yes.
Moved by Councillor Gingras and second by Councillor McDonald. Be it resolved that the following council minutes be accepted as presented. Regular council minutes, meeting minutes, February 8th, 2021. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself? Brigida?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Carried. Okay, moving on to minutes and reports. This is just to note them as being accepted as presented. So Kathy, can I get a first on that?
Yes.
Brigida, a second?
Yes.
Be it resolved that the minutes and reports 6A to D are accepted as presented. A, the Township of Narren-and-Hyman Drinking Water Quality Management System 2020 Management Review Minutes, October 1st, 2019 to July 30th, 2020. B, the Township of Narren-and-Hyman Community Parks and Recreation Committee Minutes, March 3rd, 2020. C, the Township of Narren-and-Hyman Community Parks and Recreation Committee Minutes, February 16th, 2021, and D, Township of Narren-and-Hyman, December 2020 Bank Reconciliation. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Brigida?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Carried. And we do have motions on the minutes and reports, and I will get into them after. This is just noting the other ones as received. So Rod, can I get a first?
Yes.
Kathy, a second?
Yes.
Okay. Resolved, moved by Rod, seconded by Kathy. Be it resolved that the minutes and reports of item E to J are noted as received. E, Township of Narren-and-Hyman CEO report number 2021-008 regarding new laptop computers and electronic distribution of agenda packages. F, Township of Narren-and-Hyman CEO report number 2021-009, proposed code of conduct for council members. G, Township of Narrenheim and CEO report number 2021-010, proposed council staff relations policy. H, Township of Narrenheim and CEO report number 2021-011, proposed integrity commissioner required inquiry protocol policy. I, Township of Narrenheim and superintendent report March 3rd, 2021. And J, Township of Narrenheim's fire chief report February 28th, 2021. This is just to receive them. Kathy, are you in favor?
Yes.
Myself, Brigida,
Yes.
Rod.
Are we going to be able to discuss some of these?
Yeah, we will. We will. We do have motions, and I will open it up for discussion after this.
Okay, yes.
Carried. All right. Is there any discussions arising from any of the minutes and reports before I get into the motions?
Yes, I have a comment and a couple of questions, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, on the new proposed bylaws, so it would be F, G, and H, it looks like. Okay, I just wanted to, I'll make a comment first, and then I have a couple of questions. So my comment is that our small government here in Nairn Center, I believe, in my opinion, should be passing bylaws that reflect our small community. Having said that, I find that all three proposed bylaws are extremely robust for our small community. That's just my feeling. I feel like it's an overreach, but it's okay. Like, you know, if that's how it reads, that's how it reads. But we have always historically, you know, just done our bylaws reflecting our small community. I find these are very, again, robust documents. I find also that there is a bit of conflicting language in some of them. I'll give you an example, and I'll actually, for the record, I'll submit, I think the CAO wanted our comments or, you know, any changes we required to be submitted. So I will submit them in writing, but I just wanted to mention them to my colleagues now. Is it okay, Mr. Chair? I can continue?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so okay, this is where I'll start. In 6G, which is the council staff relations, the CAO, under her analysis and recommendation, is proposing these policies and bylaws to encourage communication between council and staff. And those are quoted words from the document. However, in that document, 6G, under number 5, it's guiding principles, and then down to number 3, it's respecting the chain of command. It says, and I'll quote, "Councillors who need to engage with staff or officers must do so through the CAO. That includes in person, verbal, written, or electronic." So I find even that conflicting. The CAO wants to encourage communication, but yet the document says that we can only communicate through her to our staff. So just adding to that, a few documents down, actually our last document, 6J, is, and I'm just showing this as the example, the fire chief's report. At the end of that report, he would like us to call him and discuss things, as he only receives input from the CAO. So I just find it very conflicting. I want to ensure maybe, and I'm sure it's going to happen, that staff will receive these documents when we pass them into bylaws. But I just found it interesting that the fire chief is requesting us to call him to discuss things because he only receives input from the CAO. But that's how it should be, in essence, in the document. So I just wanted to point that out. I just found it conflicting as I was reading it, like read through the documents and then got to the fire chief report, and he wants us to call him, yet part of the document is we shouldn't contact staff or officers, whether it's in person, verbal, written, or electronic. We must do so through the CAO. So that's one observation. So hopefully we can either work on the language or ensure the fire chief knows that we can't discuss things with him and call him to give him our input. We would do that through the CAO. So another question that I had, that was just a comment. Another question I had was, I also noticed that at the top of each document, it indicated through the CAO's report that the Integrity Commissioner, along with Wishart Legal Corporation, has developed these bylaws for us. So a couple of things. If legal services are required, I'm wondering why we're not using our own town lawyer. Also, I wanted to know if the Integrity Commissioner and Wishart are being paid additional monies to develop these bylaws, because historically, because we're such a small community, our CAO developed the bylaws by checking other communities of similar size and geographic location and made the bylaws for us that way. So if we are paying legal and the Integrity Commissioner to develop these documents, I really am not in favor of that. So that was a lot, but those are my comments and those are my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. I think maybe I'll turn it over to the CAO for an answer to that question. I believe it's because it was an extension of the investigation, but I think I'll turn it over to the CEO to maybe expand on that.
Excellent. Thank you.
And I'd just like to remind, in the CEO's report, she had put a date that all councillors can submit their concerns regarding those three documents and those policies.
Yes, and I will, Mr. Chair, submit my comments or questions in writing also, yes.
Perfect. Thank you. And I'll turn it over to Belinda now.
Thank you. Thanks, Belinda.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to address all your concerns and questions, Councillor Gingras. If I haven't, I will certainly try to address them when everyone submits their comments. Thank
you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So yes, you're right. Historically, that's the way things were handled by the previous staff members. They would look at other municipalities and try to tailor make our bylaws. And I think if you look at a lot of other similar size municipalities, you're going to find that their policies are very similar, almost identical, because many of them were developed in conjunction with Wishart Law. That was a package that was offered to all the Integrity Commissioner clients a while back. So that unfortunately they were never implemented. They should have been implemented before March 1st, 2019. But as you know, we had a very large staff turnover and that didn't happen. But I think if you look at a lot of other municipalities, you're going to find policies that are cumbersome, that are not even written in normal English, that you'd need a law degree to decipher. I feel that these policies, maybe they're not 100% on the mark at this point yet. I feel that they're in plain English and you can understand them. And then to address the comment regarding the fire chief, you're correct. That was something that he probably doesn't understand the chain of command. And that's something that will be communicated to him, all staff, and we're hoping to develop some training for counselors as well once these policies are accepted. So as you know, these policies were mandated by Bill 68, which amended the Municipal Act. And the way this legislation rolled out, it was very specific in the language that had to be in these policies. And so when the Integrity Commissioner was looking through our past bylaws and policies, we were found to be very deficient, and we were actually not not in compliance with the Municipal Act since we're missing these 3 policies. So we're hoping that they can be developed further with your question or your comments and proposed amendments, and go forward into developing them. That's all I have to say, Mr. Chair.
Perfect. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Belinda, also for that. Mr. Chair, through you, could I ask one more quick question, or?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair, to Belinda. Moving forward, Belinda, do you think we will always use a lawyer's office and an integrity commissioner to help develop our bylaws?
Can I answer that, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you for the question, Councillor Gingras. No, I don't think that will be needed going forward in other types of bylaws. We tailor make a lot of our own bylaws that our municipality enacts. So these were just policies that were mandated that needed to have specific language, and I believe that's why they were provided in this format.
Excellent. Thank you, Belinda and Mr. Chair. Thank you. That's good for me. I'll submit my comments in writing by March 22nd to the CAO. Thank you, Belinda.
Welcome.
Anyone else on these items specifically?
Yes, me. I'm. I just get my thoughts together here. No, I agree with Brigitte. A lot of Brigitte, what she said. She's very professional talking, and I'm not, but I'm very blunt. But I'm still upset over this. And I'm telling you that my community, what I lived in for 75 years, treat me like you treated me. It's not right. And to have another bylaw come in, the bylaw you got in place right now took every right away from me. What more do you want? You know, leave the old bylaw there. You took everything away from me that you can possibly take away, other than fire me, and I this community is in my heart. I lived here all my life, and I don't think I've been treated. I don't think I treated the staff that badly, and all these bylaws is looking at counselors. We run this town, not the staff runs this. We run the town, and I think I'm still hurt over this, and I'm going to be hurt for a while probably. And I think if you want to change these bylaws, wait till the new council comes in a couple of years and a year and a half from now. Let them, because this council is corrupt, I think. And I don't feel that I deserve what I got. I don't feel like, and I still think all these bylaws coming in place now is attacking me personally. And personally, even my wife, it says in one of the bylaws now that my wife, because she's a spout of a council, she can't call and complain as she did before. And when those letters was put out, she complained about the water. My 2 neighbors complained about water
Councillor,
at the office.
Councillor,
Pardon me? Yes.
We're discussing the proposed code of conduct and new policies that are going to be enacted. If you do not have anything on these codes or these policies, I'll have to ask you to stop right there.
I guess I'll stop. I guess no matter which deputy mayor or the mayor, I got to get out of my system somehow, and I'm trying to be patient with you. But okay, I'll go. I respect you as a deputy mayor and chair of this meeting. I'll respect you, but don't expect too much from me. I don't think I'll be voting on these any of these 3 items. Thank you. Bye now.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. What it's looking like is we do have motions to direct staff that further discussions and amendments are required. So I believe that that this would be a more appropriate motion for tonight. And we're not going to pass the bylaws this evening, the policies and the code of conducts. So I will put forward the motion that further discussions are required if there's no other conversation on these.
Mr. Chair, I would like to hear from the Councillor Kathy there, see what her view is on these bylaws.
Okay, Councillor Bourrier, do you have any comments on these bylaws?
I do feel that they do seem excessive. Robust is a good word that Councillor Gingras used. So I do believe that, yes, we need more discussion.
Okay. So I'll move we will look at, I'm just trying to get the numbers in order here. So this is for that council directs that further discussion and amendments of the proposed new code of conduct for members of council policy are required. Brigitte, will you move that?
Yes.
And Kathy, a second?
Yes.
Moved by Briggs, second by Kathy. Resolved that the CEO's report number 2021-009 dated March 2nd be received for information and that council directs that further discussion and amendments of the new proposed new code of conduct for members of council policy are required. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself? Brigitte?
Yes.
And Rod?
No.
Okay. Motion carried. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is for the further discussions on the new proposed integrity commissioner inquiry protocol policy. Rod, will you move that?
No.
Okay. Kathy, will you move that?
Yes.
Brigitte, will you?
Yes.
Moved by Kathy, seconded by Brigitte. Resolved that CEO's report number 2021-011 dated March 3rd, 2021 be received for information and that council directs that further discussions are amended of the proposed new further discussions and amendments of the proposed new integrity commissioner inquiry protocol policy are required. Kathy?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Brigitte?
Yes.
And Rod?
No.
Motion carried. And this is for the staff council relations policy. Brig, can you move that?
Yes.
Kathy, a second.
Yes.
Moved by Brig, second by Kathy. Resolved that the CEO's report number resolved that CEO's report number 2021-010 dated March 3rd, 2021 be received for information and that council directs that further discussions and amendments of the proposed new council staff relation policy are required. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself? Brigitte?
Yes.
Rod?
No.
Motion carried. Okay, is there any other inquiries on any of the minutes and reports? I do have a motion. I have two more motions on this for the new laptops. I have a motion as well as noting that the fire chief's report would be received for information. But is there any other discussion on these?
I just got one. Oh, go ahead, Brig.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Chair, I just had a quick question.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
Just actually, sorry, it's not even a question. It's just a comment on the new laptop and computers and electronic distribution of agenda packages. I'm very much in favor of that. The laptops that we had previously were wonderful. I know they were outdated now, but to go back to a regular keyboard, I am so in favor of. Thank you.
Perfect. And I believe
Okay,
Councilor McDonald had something else.
Yes, I'm just concerned about that plow truck that they got. I would like to put a motion on the table that CAO will look into it and come up with some kind of a report, how it happened, why it happened, and what he has been done to stop it from happening again. And what was the oil leak? Like it sounds like very serious. This oil leak sounds like the mechanic did something wrong there. I would like a full report on that if I can get that. And I think councillors deserve that.
And I will ask the CEO to give us any information, if she has any information from our superintendent about the truck or the oil leak.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, if you recall back in December, there was a major rebuild of that Ford truck. I'm not a mechanic, so I'm not going to try to speak in terms of mechanic terms. That would be something that our superintendent could perhaps submit a further report on. But the garage has agreed to fix all issues resulting from that repair at no charge, since it was their fault. So if the councillors would like a further report, I could have the municipal superintendent submit one.
Well, I would like a report on that.
Okay. And I do have a blank motion here, so I can direct the CEO to direct the superintendent that report comes to council next meeting regarding the truck. So I'm just going to write the motion.
And I also like to know, what maintenance do they do to those trucks? Are they qualified to do these maintenance? We send them out to graduates there every year for around $20,000 a year plus flew for it. And are they qualified to do the work they're doing on it? That's what I want to know too. And I'm not against the people make mistakes, but it's got to be looked at so they don't happen again. Like 5 years from now, there might be a new crew in there, and if you have it on record, they see that, and it helps. I think. I'm just talking about experience at work there, where I used to work. We used when something happens like that, we investigate it and make reports out, and so it don't happen again. Mainly. I'm not accusing the staff for making a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes.
Sorry, I'm just looking for the truck name. I believe it's the F-350, right, Rod?
Yes, Ford.
Okay, so I have resolved that council directs the CEO to direct Mr. Wilson to provide a further report on the municipal Ford truck. Rod, will you move that?
Yes.
Brigitte, a second?
Yes.
Moved by Rod, second by Brigitte. Resolved that council directs the CAO to direct Mr. Wilson to provide a further report on the municipal Ford truck. Kathy, in favor?
No.
Myself is a yes. Brigitte?
Yes.
Brigitte?
Yes. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh,
And
okay.
Rod?
Sorry.
Yes.
Carried. Okay, now if there's no more discussions on,
I have something, Fred. I'm sorry.
okay, yeah, no, go for
Mr.
it.
Chair. I just was wondering about the recreation. They're asking for $900 for a spring cleanup and a children's Easter party.
Yes,
Yeah, I just am wondering the wisdom in having, like with the laws now and what's going on with the COVID, I don't understand what is being planned to do for that amount of dollars with where people aren't supposed to be gathering. So,
yeah, the idea was to have outdoor events, and the money will be used for that. Easter party would have been, the kids' Easter party was for a outside Easter egg hunt, and the spring cleanup, we were looking at providing residents with a lunch after they have walked around the town and cleaned up the ditch and some other things like that. That's what the Recreation Committee was thinking on that. With the new, now that we're in a red zone, that definitely does change things a bit for outdoor gatherings. We planned that when we were in orange. So that was the money that the committee requested.
okay, thank you.
So I do have a motion on that. And, we also have a motion on the Recreation Committee's budget. So we can either, I will go to the new laptops first, and then I will go to the Rec Committee budget. So this is for the council replaces the iPads with the new laptops. Kathy, will you move that?
Yes, I will.
And Rod, a second.
Yes.
Moved by Kathy, second by Rod. Resolved that the CAO's report number 2021-008 dated March 1st be received for information, and that council replace the iPads with new laptop computers. And further, that council agrees that the distribution of council meeting agenda package to members of council and staff will be in an electronic format only to lower printing costs and reduce paper waste. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Brigida?
Yes.
And Rod?
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay. There we go. Now we have that council agrees for the $900 amount for the kids' Easter party and spring cleanup. Brig, will you move that?
Yes.
And Kathy, a second.
Yes.
Moved by Briggs, second by Kathy. Resolved that council notes the Township of Narrenheim Community Parks and Recreation Resolution number 2021 Rec number 4 as received, and that council approves the requested budget for a kids Easter party and spring cleanup event in the amount of $900. And further, that council defers the final approval of the Recreation Committee budget for 2021 and until further budget meetings are held. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself is a yes. Brig?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that I'm very sad that our Tristan McGregor resigned from the post of Chair of Recreation.
Sure.
And I just wanted to thank her for all the work she had done until then.
Thank you. Yeah. I know the new chair is excited to get going, so that should be good.
Excellent. Peaceful transition of power.
And
I just got to go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just want to add that you all know now that Rolly McLean passed away there. I think that the town should send flowers or something in that regard. He's been in the fire department for I don't know how many years now. And I think it'd be only right to do it. Thank you.
I agree with Councillor McDonald on that, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
I also agree.
All right. So we'll now move that the fire chief's report be received for information. Is there any clarifications needed or any other discussions on the fire chief's report?
No.
Okay. So Rod, will you move that?
Yes.
And second by Kathy?
Yes.
Moved by Rod, second by Kathy. That it is resolved that the fire chief's report be received for information. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself is a yes. Brigida?
Yes.
And Rod?
Yes.
All right. Motion carried. Okay, we will now move to correspondences 7. This is just to note. Actually, I'll open up any discussions on any of the correspondences. If there is discussions on 7B, I will have to take a sit back as the chair, and another council member will have to take the chair position for that for those discussions. That's all I have there. Is there any discussions in any of the correspondences tonight?
No, Mr. Chair. I just had a comment, though. It was about the item you're in conflict with, but it's just a comment. I just wanted to say it's nice to hear positive stories coming to us. Often we get the complaint stories from folks, so it's nice when someone writes in with some positive energy towards our staff. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
No problem. All right. Any other discussions arising from correspondences?
So we're going to have motions on these other ones.
I
Like 7E there, Save the Ontario Fire College. I would like to
I know we did pass a motion on it. We passed a motion on it last meeting,
okay.
putting our support forward, and we do have motions in number 8. So, but we did pass a motion requesting our support for the Ontario Fire College last meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so this is to note the correspondences as received. Kathy, will you move that?
Yes.
Rod, a second?
Yes.
Moved by Kathy, second by Rod. Resolved that correspondence 7A through E be noted as received. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Brigida?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, we'll go now into number 8, motions. We have 4 of them tonight. So this is for the infrastructure motion from the Township of Bracebridge. Brig, will you first that?
Yes.
Rod, a second?
Yes.
Moved by Briggs, second by Rod. Resolved that the Corporation of the Township of Nairn and Hyman endorses and supports the resolution of the Township of Bracebridge regarding requesting that the federal and provincial governments provide immediate, broad, and substantial municipal funding opportunities for shovel-ready projects already prioritized under municipal assessment management plans. And further, that a copy of this motion be sent to the Prime Minister of Canada, the Federal Minister of Infrastructure and Communities, the Premier of Ontario, the Ontario Minister of Finance, the Ontario Minister of Infrastructure, the Ontario Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, the local member of Parliament, and the local member of Parliament, provincial Parliament, and the town of Bracebridge. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself is a yes. Brigida?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, this is for the next item, Township of the Archipelago. Rod, will you first that?
Yes.
Kathy, a second?
Yes.
Moved by Rod, second by Kathy, that the Corporation of the Township of Narren-Hyman endorses and supports the resolution of the Township of Archipelago requesting that the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing initiate a review of the Municipal Elections Act and make amendments to provide clearer, stronger wording to assist municipal clerks in addressing issues to allow for a more definitive decision to be made when adding names to the voters list. And further, that a copy of this motion be sent to the Premier of Ontario, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, and the Township of the Archipelago. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself is a yes. Brigida?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, on to the next one. Municipality of Halton. Brig, will you first this?
Yes.
Kathy, a second?
Yes.
Moved by Briggs, second by Kathy, that the Corporation of the Township of Narren-Hyman endorses and supports the resolution of the Regional Municipality of Halton, strongly urging the provincial government to move forward with the implementation of AMO's recommendation contained in its submission to the Long-Term Care COVID-19 Commission, including instituting higher standards with increased funding to homes to implement those standards, and that the federal government enhance federal healthcare healthcare funding to the provinces and territories, specifically dedicating funding to long-term care homes to protect, promote, and restore the physical and mental well-being of long-term care residents in Canada. And further, that a copy of this motion be sent to the Prime Minister of Canada, the Premier of Ontario, the federal and provincial ministers of health, FCM, AMO, and the municipality of Halton. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself is yes. Brigida?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Motion carried. This is for the last one. City of St. Catharines. Kathy, will you first this?
Yes.
Rod, a second?
Yes.
Moved by Kathy, second by Rod. Resolved that the Corporation of the Township of Narren-Hyman endorses and supports the resolution from the City of St. Catharines requesting an amendment to Schedule 6 of Bill 197 Environmental Assessment Act, eliminating the adjacent municipalities' overreach. And further, that a copy of this motion be sent to the Premier, the Minister of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, and the City of St. Catharines. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself is a yes. Brigida?
Yes.
And Rod?
Yes.
Motion carried. Okay, moving on to for information only. This is just to note them as received. Rod, will you first that?
Yes.
Kathy, a second?
Yes.
Moved by Rod, second by Kathy. Resolved that for information items only, 10A and 10B be received for information. Kathy, for?
Yes.
Myself, Brigida?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Motion carries. Okay, we will now move into our closed session. Brigida, will you move that?
Yes.
Kathy, a second?
Yes.
Moved by Briggs, second by Kathy. Resolved that council moves into closed session at 7:44 p.m. for the purpose stated in section 239.2 of the Municipal Act. This is personal matters of an identifiable individual, including municipal employees. Kathy, in favor?
Yes.
Myself is a yes. Brigida?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Motion carries. And I'll ask the CEO now to stop recording the meeting.